Is the screen visible? What I'm sharing? Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're audible, but for me, I can't see the screen.
Okay. Sanjeev, do you want playing it? I think my screen just got stuck.
Do
Can you
you
see?
want me to play it again?
Yes, it did not play.
Okay.
I'm just hanging up on my system.
इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा, ये हमारी आपकी हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello, friends, and a very warm evening to all people who are watching us today. And a big welcome to the Bharat Franchise Show. Now, Bharat Franchise Show has been a special series. As we know, in India, we celebrate these special 9 days. ये 9 दिन वो special दिन होते हैं when we, of course, think of starting something new, probably as a business in my category. This Bharat Franchise Show has been organized by the management team of Franchise India. As a keynote speaker, Mr. Gaurav Maurya, the chairman of Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD Franchise India Brands. So Franchise India has been launching this platform so that you can sitting at your home, you can talk about new business opportunities, you can learn about new business opportunities. We started on 22nd, and tomorrow would be the grand finale. So on 22nd, we explored the health and wellness brands. 23rd, we talked about the F&B industry and the brands. 24th was the time when we talked about convenience retail and quick commerce brands. 25th, auto EV brands. 26th, we covered retail brand. 27th, we talked about service brands. And yesterday, we talked about FOCO model brands. So, friends, anybody who has missed this opportunity, you can please come on the page of Franchise India on YouTube, and you can find all the recordings there itself. Now, today being Ashtami, as we say, and a very special day, something very big. So, why not to celebrate this opportunity with a master franchise show? So today we have a lineup of a lot of brands who will be talking about the master business opportunities that you have for yourself. So talking typically about what is master franchise hota kya hai is somebody you take a right for that particular area and whatever units that opens up in that area, the franchise fee actually comes to you. Not only franchise fee, probably the royalties also start coming to you. So probably start getting a recurring income for yourself. But of course, it's a business. So of course, if you take a master right, the money is involved big. So does the investment and so does the responsibility. So friends, about Franchise India, Franchise India has been a pioneer in the franchising business since past 25 years. And we are very much franchise centric and investor focused brand. So when we say investor focused, we would rather say that we don't just sell you a business. हम आपको सिर्फ एक business बेचते नहीं हैं. Rather, what we suggest you, we have a methodology that we follow and help you select the right business opportunity for yourself. And the way Franchise India works is we work on a majorly a four fitment category. FOMF. I repeat, we work on a methodology and a four fitment, which is FOMF, where S stands for strategic. Strategic would mean that what is your interest, what's your experience, what is your education background. O would mean operational, how much time you can really give to this business, because crucially giving time to the business, especially when it's a newborn baby, it needs time. But maybe somebody is already working somewhere, कहीं आप job कर रहे हैं, probably you're already diversified into some other business. You may not be able to give time. So operationally, O. M is market. Every business is not for every market. But looking at the international levels, a lot of international brands are also coming to India, of course, seeing that India is a great economy. So market. Is this business fit for this market or not? And the last is F, financial. Very importantly, everybody has their own appetite size, and we understand the needs of the investors like you. And basis on these four fitments, I repeat, SOMF: strategic, operational, market, and financial. We match these four fitments and probably help you make an informed decision with a calculated risk. Well, friends who are watching us here live and also watching us on YouTube, again, a very warm welcome to these 9 day special, what we call a Bharat Franchise Show Navratri special. Today is day 8. Tomorrow we do the grand finale. Please use the Q&A box, which is down, and probably end of the formal presentations that we have, we'll start picking up the questions from this former side. Now, time to start the eagerly waiting, as people are eagerly waiting for the brand presentation. So, first thing, majorly, what we'll talk about is education. Now, education, as we say, probably somebody was asking me, what is the new currency? And I kept on replying, maybe investing in shares. I got an answer, no. Somebody told me, probably cryptocurrency is the new currency. And this guy said, no. Any more guesses? Now, this guy really made me understand education, knowledge. Knowledge is the new currency. So, of course, this is where we are going to present you now the business opportunities and the master franchise opportunities. The first market entry players, international brands who have been walking to India, who will make you understand the business opportunities in the education sector. So for that, I have Remjim. Hi, Remjim. If you can hear me, can you switch on the camera, please? So Remjim Mukherjee comes with almost 2 decades of experience, and she expertises in probably helping investors to pick up the right business. So Remjim is the CEO for Envision Brands. So what is Envision Brands? What is the role? We would love to hear it from Remjim itself. Remjim, warm welcome and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, so much for inviting onto this platform, onto the famous Franchise India's Bharat Franchise Show. And thank you for all the attendees here today for this show. I know it's Ashwini and Ramazan and all of those happening in auspicious days happening in the country, and still you have time to come here and be with us, understand a bit about our business and to see if there's So thank you so much for that. I would straight away jump to the presentation if Saras is okay with it. I come from Envision Brands, so I am the CEO for Envision Brands. What Envision Brands primarily does is building sustainable brands with entrepreneurial capital. While whenever we think about starting a business, we think about finances as the first and foremost criteria for starting a business. Finances, of course, are good. But the one thing that is more important than finances is the entrepreneurial capital. And that is what we are looking at. We are looking at building beautiful, sustainable brands, which we bring from abroad, India. These famous and popular brands across India with multiple centers in different countries of the world. And now we have onboarded them as master franchisees and owners for India and brought them in population consumption. That's what Envision Brands is about. We primarily deal with education brands, aesthetics and wellness, and convenience services. For the show today, we are dealing with aesthetics, with educational brands primarily, to in the early learning space. So let me quickly jump onto the presentation, and Saras, please do let me know when you're able to see my screen so that we get a confirm. Still loading, it seems. Yeah.
Do full screen.
All right. Just confirm once you're able to see full screen.
So yes, we can.
All right. Super. And please confirm that you're able to next slide also.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Very good. Perfect. Thank you. So as I said, Vision Brand, sustainable brands with entrepreneurial capital. We are working very aggressively towards the mission, creating at least 500 entrepreneurs by 2025. That's a massive number that we've taken. And we are on the lookout business partners with that entrepreneurial zeal matches the zeal of the brand. Why we target the Indian education market. So if you see education, as Saras very rightly pointed out, is the new currency for the Indian population. There are about 1.5 million schools across, 250 million of student database in the country as of now, and it is growing at an exponential rate. Education has always been a business that has predominantly been considered to be recession free, and that's why our extreme interest in this education sector, and that too in the early development, early skill development sector, wherein the child takes the formative years of his education. The parents are also involved in the process. We together create a beautiful academic journey. In that, we have the first brand, which is called Business Kidz, from the land of USA, Mexico. It's a brand that is almost 15 years old. It has about 500 schools affiliation. It has already trained about 1 lakh plus children, has about 115 as we speak. I mean, the presentation is old. It says 109, but as we speak, we have about 115 plus running centers in across 21 countries. What is Business Kidz? Business Kidz is the world's #1 and the first entrepreneurial development program for children. We develop entrepreneurial skill set, entrepreneurial ownership in children from the ages of 4 to 19. From the ages of 4 to 12, categorized the program and called it as Business Kidz. And from the ages of from the ages of 13 to 19, we have categorized as Business Teens. So both the programs are massively popular, and one center can run both the programs. Now, what is Business Kidz? As I said, we teach kids, we create self-aware, confident leaders of tomorrow with the entrepreneurial skill set and with a sense of ownership in whatever they do. Our outcome is not that every single child that passes out from my program becomes an entrepreneur at the end of the day, but it is to instill that spirit of entrepreneurship, which is leadership, self-confidence, creativity, innovation, understanding a complete business operation, right from sales, marketing, administration, finance, ethics, self-esteem, presentation to the client, stakeholder management, negotiations, all of these which are practically very, very important in any child's professional journey ahead, irrespective of whether they are doing something of their own or they are working for a government or a corporate institution. That is what Business Kids is all about. The primary four basic pillars of Business Kids are business knowledge. So we impart knowledge to the children, a complete understanding of the business, and also ensure that at the end of the program, once the course is complete, they are able to have a fully revenue making business model for themselves, either in terms of a product or in terms of a service. Second is education. This is one thing that is extremely, extremely popular for the simple reason that all of us have been children at one point of time, and we all today feel, I wish we were taught financial literacy. I wish we were given some sort of financial education, which we by practically. So financially literate, financially aware children are what we will create via program. Personal development, of course, the child becomes super confident, develops leadership skills, collaboration, understands teamwork, understands problem solving, thought process, identifying a problem statement, arriving at a solutioning. So all of these which cater to the child is one of the other pillars of business. And finally, of course, social consciousness. So when we talk about social consciousness, entrepreneurship primarily has been about solving a business problem in the society via a business. So we ensure that our children who are doing this program become socially conscious individuals of tomorrow. How we conduct these programs? We have multiple formats of conduction of this program. So the program primarily of 80 hours. The course content separate created across 80 hours, at the end of which they graduate and they get a certificate from USA. So it could be a regular program, which is a weekday program, Monday to Friday, 2 days, 2 hours per day, and they complete it over the course of 8 weeks. Or it could be a weekend program wherein they do for Saturdays and Sundays every day, and they complete it over 10 weeks. Or else they could do it in a summer camp. They do it at a stretch for 20 days, 4 hours each, or 5 days, 3.5 hours each, and complete the program at a stretch. Or else they could also work in an in-school program. The franchisee partner collaborates with the schools and delivers the program as a part of the school's extracurricular or co-curricular activity. It caters to sports, it caters to storytelling, business of art, sales, marketing, administration, business operations that I've already spoken about. We are trying to create that difference. This is something, entrepreneurial education, something that is missing from the Indian education system as of now. So this is a pioneer brand across the world, and for the first time, we are exposing this brand to the Indian population. Now, just a quick understanding overview, what is the kind of opportunity in terms of financials? We have, this is a very low-cost business opportunity where the investment will range from 5.5 to 10 odd lakhs for a unit franchise. The area required is about 1,000 square feet, in about 5.5 lakhs. If you go for the smaller model, where lakhs is the franchise fee, 1 lakh is the taking up the materials and things like that, and about 50,000 is the signage requirements, the branding, communication, and the signage requirements. That has an ROI of as less as payback period of as less as 5 months. So you put in the 5.5 lakh model and you get your money back. You get your payback period in as less as 5 months. If you go for the bigger model, which is lakh model, again, there's a franchise fee component of 4 lakh, another 6 lakhs of setup cost. That has an ROI of about 572% cumulative over 3 years. And it has a payback period of less than a year. So Whether you are going for a 5.5 lakh model or a 10 lakh model, you get your money back in the first year itself. And in the towards the end of the first year, by the 10th, 11th, 12th month, you start becoming cash positive and reaping profits from this program. Our rollout plan, we are rolling across all metro and state capital cities. We are open for all tier 2 and some selective tier 3 cities. So in case you can tell me the location that you're looking at, I'll be able to whether we are looking for a business kids center there or not. What are the key support functions that we offer? So since we are the brand owner in India, I represent Business Kids India. So we offer complete 360-degree support, right, in terms of helping finalize the real estate, evaluate real estate, staff selection, complete training, curriculum designing, program training, whoever is the person who's going to be train the trainer programs, advertising, promotion, marketing support in terms of designing the collateral strategy, delivering the operational manuals, student enrollment assistance, center audits, advisory, everything that is required for a business to function, a franchisee to function. We offer the complete 360-degree support as brand owners and master franchisee for this brand. Now, before I move on to the next brand, I would quickly like to also touch base upon what is the master franchise opportunity here. So how we've calculated master franchise opportunity is, I will take an example and I will explain that to you. Let's say, for example, we take a city like Bangalore. In Bangalore, I have an opportunity of opening up 15 business kids centers. So every business kid center will pay me a franchise fee of 4 lakh rupees. So 15 business kid centers makes an opportunity of about 60 lakh rupees for me. The master franchisee who is interested for taking up Bangalore as an area development, right, will need to pay around 40% of it upfront, which is for a opportunity they need to pay 50 upfront, and then they move on to establishment of different sub franchisees along with me, and we share the profit between them and me in a 60-40 ratio, where they take 60% of it and I take 40%. So that is also in the franchise fee 4 lakh, and also in the royalty component of 10%. They take a 60% ratio and I take a 40% ratio. My master franchise model is customizable from location depending on opportunity cost, depending on total number of centers that I can have in that particular territory. So if you, in case you are interested to understand the master franchisee of this, I would be open to having a Zoom or an offline conversation with you and understand the opportunity cost and accordingly customize a master franchisee model. With that, come to the end of the first brand. The second brand that I'm here for is was typically an after-school program. Next in line is School, a premium childcare center and a preschool right from the land of Singapore. Now, before I delve into the brand, if you look at the Indian panorama of how the education system and particularly the preschool system is, there are about 200 odd Indian brands that are already franchising. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years, we have seen a massive mushroom explosion of these brands. And these brands have a very typical run-of-the-mill kind of a copy-paste model. The Indian education is desperately in need of a very, very good, well-established global brand from a place which ranks first in the World Education Index. So Singapore is rightly called the education capital of India. In India, we do not have a single preschool brand. Currently in India, we do not have a single Singaporean preschool brand, and we decided to bring this beautiful, phenomenal brand called Red School House to the Indian population, master franchisee and a brand as an Indian brand owner. So what is Red School House? We look at the holistic development of the child. It's a multi-award winning preschool, has been in existence for over 2 decades. and the philosophy or the methodology which distinctly changes it from the Indian education system is the SPICE approach. When we talk about SPICE, it is SPICE, which is social, physical, intellectual, creative, and emotional development. So we are looking at a holistic development right from the start of their academic journey. We have about 4 classes, playgroup, KG1 and KG2. We we go by the motto of settling the heart and defining your child. Our philosophy is anchored on a philosophy of love and helping them not feel the fact that they are going from home to a school. And the name of the school also has been kept in a similar manner, Red Schoolhouse, because it typically for them, that's the entire mentality, and that's the entire ideology or the philosophy. So children learn by playing, via interactive activities. There are extra co-curricular, indoor activities, outdoor activities, excursions, summer camps, trips, affiliations with foreign universities. So there are lots and lots of such enrichment programs that are a part of the curriculum of Singapore's Red Schoolhouse. We already have a presence in Singapore. We have multiple centers, 4 running centers in Singapore. We have our presence in China and Vietnam. And now we've brought this to the Indian population. We've partnered with global brands like Little Musician, Singapore University of Technology and Design, which is again a collaboration with MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is the #1 technology institute, and it's considered as the Mecca of technology across the world. Ready, Steady, Go Kids, Art for Good. Try to cater beautiful collaborations and partnerships so as to ensure the child's development happens in every single aspect of his life. There are endless awards. These are the awards that I could fit into the slide. There are many more that are lying on the shelves of the offices of Red Schoolhouse. Now, if I come to what is the franchise proposition for Red Schoolhouse, we are looking at unit, of course, and we are also looking at multi-unit, and we are looking at a franchise, an area master franchisee. So for a single unit, what we are looking at, the kind of investment that is required is about 49 odd lakh rupees, out of which 10 lakh rupees plus GST is the franchise fee, and the payback period is 1 year, 8 months. So the gestation period is broadly about 18 to 20 odd months, after which you become cash positive and you set up a pioneer institute in India in a particular territory and become the first owners of a global legacy brand in your particular area or a territory. Similarly, the responsibilities of the franchisee. So you go for the investment. We are in a 4-4 model, franchise owned, franchise operated model, wherein the investment is yours. You take care of the complete operation, rentals, HR expenses, utility bills, every operational cost that is incurred, the local maintenance, marketing, royalty, and the net profit. So royalty to the brand is about 10%. If you once I have gone through the entire 3 brands, you will notice one very uniformity across all the models kept in Vision brands. We take a standard royalty of about 10%, and we take a franchise fee, upfront franchise fee, which will differ from brand to brand. But the royalty remains same, which is 10% on the total sales month on month. The key support that we offer are exactly the same. The entity is the same, the Vision brands only. So the key support functions are exactly the same that we offer for Business Kids or for any other brand. We give you 360-degree support, right from evaluation of the site to real estate realization, insights, interiors, fit outs, recruitment, training, marketing, strategy support, marketing collateral support, sales support, any kind of advertising or promotional material that is required. So we take care of the entire support function for you, 360-degree end to end. Moving on to the third brand. Before we move on to the third brand, again, let me quickly reiterate the master franchise model that we have for Red Schoolhouse, again, depends on an opportunity cost. For example, I am finalizing Chennai and Vellore as a combined area development master franchise. And for that, we've been discussing with the investor. The opportunity cost is for 15 centers, wherein 10 centers are in Chennai, 5 centers are in Vellore. So 10 plus 5, 15 centers. It's an opportunity cost of about 1.5 CR for me, going by 10 lakhs of franchise fee per center. So out of that 1.5 CR, anybody who is interested in taking up the master franchisee for Vellore and Chennai, or the area development rights for Vellore and Chennai, will have to pay me 40% upfront, take the area development rights, and then work with me in development and setting up of 15 centers, from which they will get a profit sharing of 60-40 in the royalty, and also a profit sharing of 60-40 in the franchise fee per unit. So the model remains the same across all Envision brands. It's just that it will differ from brand to brand. From every brand has its own way of functioning, but the financial mechanics between a potential franchisee and Envision brands remains the same. Moving on to the third brand, which is Bricks for Kids. Now, this brand is again an extremely popular brand, again from the land of USA, specifically California. And it's a brand that has been in existence for almost 15 years, so has a legacy there. It is the world's #1, first, and the only brand that looks at STEM education to children via Lego bricks. Before I deep dive into what is STEM education and what are Lego bricks and how do both of them function, let me just give you quick figures about the brand. It has almost 500 plus franchisees, operational 500 plus franchisees, wherein in about 40 odd countries of the world, and a teacher base of about 2,000 plus Bricks for Kids instructors, spread across 15,000 schools across the world, and it has already trained 15 lakh children plus. So those are the massive numbers that Bricks for Kids deals with. It is a massively popular brand. It has been interviewed at the Steve Harvey show. Most of you must be knowing Steve Harvey. He's the #1 talk show host around the world. And the owners of Brick for Kids were interviewed by Steve Harvey simply because the brand is doing something pioneering and has created a phenomenal legacy of entrepreneurship out of it. So what is the franchise opportunity? Let's explore together. So Bricks for Kids goes by the logo, by the slogan of we learn, we build, we play. So typically, again, it is an after school program, but it is a play franchisee. So it is about making the child learn academics, but by the playway method. So the child does not feel pressured that they are, after their school, they're again going to a place where they have to study. The child does not feel that pressure. The child understands that they are going there to play with Lego bricks, which are building blocks. They are going to play, they're going to build models. It's their downtime. But at the end of the class, they end up learning something from STEM education. Now, what is STEM education basically? Just a second. What is STEM education basically? STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. If you look at any child, take a random survey of 10 children from different parts of the country and look at them in their growing years. And if you ask them a question as to what is their most hated subject or the subject that they are most terrified of, they invariably talk about maths. Or else the second favorite for them to hate is science. Unfortunately, either the problems are complicated enough, the theory part is complicated, the principles are complicated enough for them to understand, or else the teacher in the class is not able to make it interactive enough for them to take interest and learn these concepts. And that's exactly where Brick for Kids comes with a very, very unique fashion of teaching STEM education to the children via Lego bricks. Legos, many of you may know about Legos. For those who do not know, Legos is the finest building blocks in the world. It is extremely fine, extremely super expensive building blocks, but has a very, very lovable desire by the children to be playing with Lego bricks. So children love spending that time with Lego bricks. Children love building models out of it. So we are capitalizing on that sentiment of the child, where they love being around Lego kits, Lego bricks, and creating different models. And we are incorporating STEM education via that. So these numbers, I think we've already spoken about these numbers. I'll just move on to the next slide. Again, this is, I mean, a franchise opportunity that has been in existence for almost 15 years, and is probably the pioneer in doing something like this. It is the only brand with which Legos has officially collaborated with to create customized Lego kits. So obviously it has achieved a lot of awards and felicitations of global fame. STEM jobs, if you look at it, IT is the future. ML, machine learning, artificial intelligence, chat GPT has taken the world by storm. So we know that we are moving towards a technology dependent era where 70-80% of the jobs are going to be heavily IT laden, and we can know that as for our child's professional future. So STEM education, unfortunately, can't be ignored. And when it can't be ignored, so the better that it help the child fall in love with STEM education via very, and that's where Brick for Kids comes in. Age group for kids is 4 years to 15 plus years. We have some our standard Brick. We have school workshops, advanced robotics for the senior classes of about 12 to 15 years of age, and the basic middle school, the basic up ages, your ages of 5. We have theme from 4 to about 15, 16. How we have categorized this is, we have categorized this to multiple different themes. These themes are based on what the, so if you ask any game that they today, they will invariably talk about Fortnite, they will talk about Roblox, they will talk about Angry Birds, Minecraft, and things like that. A theme for every such game that the child loves. Every theme has about 6 odd lessons of 1 hour each. A model, play with the Lego bricks, and at the end of class, learn or a mathematical principle around it. So 25 themes on an average, or we have 150 lessons or 150 hours training that can be given to a child about different concepts, science, engineering, and maths. Now, this is just a very big snapshot of the kind of work children. So from 3 to model, 5 to 7, it is model building, but with more niche and sophisticated Lego brick. For 7 to 9, we have robotics, we have coding, video game designing, building. 9, so again, we have movie making, coding, robotics of an stage. All of these which are the need of today, and more on top of that, which are the favorite. Today, most of the children are fascinated by the concept of coding, are fascinated with the concept of robotics. They are extremely interested in the concept of graphic designing, movie making, animation. All of that is taught to the children via a Lego-based model or a brick. If I talk about the multiple sources of income that are there, preschools, typical classes, you can do a kids night out, you can do a scout group, you can do online classes. A major revenue generator is birthday parties. You can do summer camps, winter camps. You can do workshops. You can do customized courses. For example, you can take up one mathematical topic, for example.
Remzim, I guess there's a internet fluctuation. Can't hear you well. She lost the connection, but I'm sure she's going to join us back soon. In the meantime, friends, we see a lot of questions being posted on the chat box. So please keep posting it because after this formal presentation, we have Mr. Shrikant. Mr. Shrikant is a business specialist. Rather, he loves himself to be called as a do your own business specialist. A do your own business specialist is a person who is absolutely franchise focused and investor centric. When we say investor centric, that would mean that he would not just come and sell you a brand and tell you a brand. Rather, he would go with a fitment of SOMF that we discussed and do the evaluation first, and then probably pick up and suggest you the right business opportunity. I see Rimjim is back again. So, Rimjim, I think we lost you. And if you want to resume, sometimes things doesn't work or life doesn't treat the way you want to be treated. I think she's still
Technical.
that's okay.
Am I
Rimsham,
clearly audible?
yeah. If you want, why don't you switch off your camera for some time to save the bandwidth while you're presenting, and then you can switch it
Is
on.
this better? Is this anyhow better?
Yeah, it is. For now, it is.
All right. All right. So wasting, we quickly jump back onto the presentation. Just let me once screen up.
I will. I will. We're waiting for the full screen mode.
Yeah, just a second, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Loud and clear.
Super. Super. All right. Thank all people, and once again, apologize for the technical. Let me move. I was discussing. So there are school workshops also that can be conducted. There are a lot of birthday parties, mini camps. At least 50 modes of revenue that a franchise partner from here. As I said, models we learn, we build, and we play. So the intent behind the entire conduction of the operations in this franchise center is for the child to feel a place where they look forward to come, not scared of the learning of the academics. They just come there to have fun, and that fun of 1 hour, they end up learning of maths or technology or sciences, but by a play with it. We are at developing all these 20th century skill sets that are required in a situation: originality, novelty, activity, critical thinking in terms of problem solving, planning, inquisitive nature, leadership, effectiveness, responsibility, learning, communication, the articulation skills, create a model, and then they talk to the children in their batches as to their articulation skills, their team building, ownership, language fluency, listening skills, 21st century learning and innovation skills that can be utilized. This franchising can be taught to the children. So if you look at this screen, I'll give you about 5 minutes to just look at the screen and see that all the skills that are being taught via Lego bricks are all things that that a child learns in their academic journey in the class: length, shape, size, height and distance, measurement, angle, difference, size, gravity, mass, force, acceleration. These are all concepts that a child understands in growing years. And if they can understand by an interactive method, nothing like it. So, there are all sorts of worksheets that at the end of the day, good interactive worksheets, playful worksheets, which they look forward to an assignment or a homework thing. There is a report card, but what to do for
I guess she is still facing. Rimchim, are you still with us? I can see on the screen.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. My network is playing hide and seek with me today. I am extremely apologetic about it. All right. I will not waste any more time and let me quickly get on to that. All right. So, yeah. Are you able to see my screen? Super.
Yes.
So the report card gradation. I mean, Indian parents, we understand the sentiments that they want some kind of a proof system or an evaluation mechanism as to what the child did in that 1 hour and what did they learn. So we have this report card or an evaluation or a performance enhancement system, particularly for the parents of the children, so that they understand what the child is learning, how is he or she doing in the class. Now, coming to the franchise opportunity, we have two basic models. One is a work from home, which is a business in a briefcase model. So it is typically a 10 lakh rupees opportunity. And the other is a creativity center, which is a 35, 40 lakh opportunity if you set up an entire center. We give you complete support in terms of marketing, recruitment, training. As I said, for Envision brands, every brand of ours, whether it is Red Schoolhouse, whether it is Brick for Kids, whether it is Business Kids, all of them, we are the master franchisee and brand owners in India. So we extend that complete 360-degree support to you. Now, as I said, camps, a very major part of revenue generation, birthday parties, a major part of revenue generation. In terms of the support that the franchise gives, they give you a mini website. You have your own marketing collateral strategy. The brand is extremely, I have interacted with the brand a lot of times, and the parent brand is extremely good on operational efficiency. So the SOPs are very clearly laid down, the training manuals, the operational procedures, the running of the franchise center, administration, delivery of the lectures, everything is extremely hard set in terms of a software tool wherein you can go. It's a complete franchise management system wherein you can just log in and get whatever you want, whatever kind of support you want, ranging from curriculum to staff training, to videos, to marketing promotional materials, to accounting softwares, to CRM softwares. Everything is available at one place. So the brand is super good operationally. These are some of the snapshots of how the franchise management system looks like. Now, the most important part, the most important slide for this brand, what are the franchise financials? So we have kept a fees of, for a unit franchisee, we have kept a fees of about 8 lakh rupees as the franchise fee. If you're going for a 10 lakh model, then 1.5 lakh is the price that you pay for purchasing the Lego kits, apart from the 8 lakh rupees, and 50,000 you spend on the branding and the communication and the signage part of it. So it's a overall 10.5 lakh model. If you go for a creativity center, then it is complete 35, 40 lakh rupees, 1,000 square foot area, FOFO model, franchise owned, franchise operated. In that 800 to 1,000 square foot area, you will have about, considering a bare shell property, you will have about let's say 20 to 22 odd lakhs of setup cost, and the remaining 8 lakh rupees is the franchise fee that you pay to me. Now, what is the territory that I give you for this? The territory that I give you for this is a kilometer radius of about 7 kilometers from your center or from the place of operations, or else a population of about 2.5 lakhs, whichever is higher. Now, this is for a unit economics. If you want to take up another territory, adjoining territory, then you get it at of course, at a reduced franchise fee. This is for a unit economics. The royalty is 7% that we charge. Apart from this, we also charge a 2% global marketing fee. So typically the royalty comes out to be at about 10 odd percentage. If I talk about the franchise model for the area development or the master franchisee, again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, we have the same model wherein we evaluate the opportunity cost. Let's say in a place like Delhi NCR, there is an opportunity for opening up 15 Brick for Kids centers. So 15 multiplied by 8, which is the franchise fee per center. So it's a 1.2 CR opportunity. You pay 40% upfront, take charge of the territory, and then develop it with me and do a 60-40 sharing where 60% goes to you and 40% stays with me. All right. Of course, this is a very concise, crisp, concentrated business formula that I am sharing right now. I would invite you for having any kind of discussions with me regarding any brand that you like in a detailed fashion. This is just a very typical trailer or a teaser that I'm showing you, and I look forward to having multiple calls and multiple Zoom meetings or in-person meetings to have a much more detailed conversation about what is the breakup financially, what are the kind of requirements, what is the support system and everything. So these are the support systems. Like typically any good operational brand, you get the email address, you get the franchise website, social media tools, all the trademarks, names, logos, franchise management tools, any kind of quarterly training sessions that you need, any kind of online session conduction support that you need, trainings, workshops. We have a very strong R&D team that keeps introducing new themes every year. So all those themes are also accessible to all our existing franchise partners. There is another model, Bricks for Biz, which I would not discuss here, but it is just to give a teaser. It is primarily the same classes, but for a higher class, the same class, the same kind of lectures, but for senior classes. So which is 9th class onwards, going up till college education. So that's a different model if somebody is interested in working in that age group of education sector as well. I would not take that time to discuss it right now. We can always have an offline connection around it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, Saras, for inviting me. Thank you for patiently bearing with the technical glitches a couple of times. And I see a lot of questions. If you want me to address any one of them, I would be more than happy to do so.
Please, Rimchim, fabulous presentation. You've already said the prospect. So why don't I hand over the question in the rounds around to Mr. Srikanth, who's a business specialist. Over to
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you, Saraji. Madam, I think a very nice presentation. I think all these models which you have presented, it talks about creating tomorrow's leaders and genius people, right? Because
Absolutely.
fundamentals creating from the tender age is very critical, and all these models are related to that. While going through your presentation, somewhere I thought these 2-3 models are can be done at the same time. So I
Yes.
just want to understand if any franchisee of our investors same place can be utilized for 2-3 models, right? So
I
need
think that's a fabulous question. Yes, Srikanth, absolutely. And I would have any which ways. Thank you for bringing this up. I would have any which ways discussed this opportunity, wherein you set up a center which in the morning acts as a play school or a preschool and a daycare chain, and in the after hours where the real estate is lying vacant, where there are no classes being conducted in a school method, these after school models can be immediately plug and play. So what we are essentially doing is we are maximizing the revenue that you can have from a single piece of real estate. So you establish one center, but you can run 2 or multiple brands out of them. So your setup cost goes low, your operational costs go low, all of that. So least amount of investment, but maximum amount of returns given on the multiple brands that you have.
Yeah, that's one thing that can be done, and that would be
Absolutely.
the advantage for. And my second question was like, do they need to take a own space, like exclusivity, or they can hire somebody's already there is a preschool, they can also hire those preschools in that way also they can do?
Yes, absolutely. So there are 2-3 modes and methods around it. They can either come into a kind of collaboration with the existing preschools, or else let's say somebody wants business kids. So what they can do is they can tie up with a preschool or a school or a primary school, middle school kind of structure, and get into either a rental or a lease kind of structure with the existing preschool owner, or else they can get into a profit sharing model to occupy their premises from 2 to 8 o'clock in the evening. So that is also a financial viable business opportunity, because then your investment goes very low and your returns are expedited in a much lesser period of time.
That's great. My third question, which was running in my mind, like how is it parents these are after school programs, which we know that these are not primarily taught here, like whether it is business teams or business kits and brick models, which we are talking about. What could be the charges? One, we are saying that 5 to 6 months, 8 months time, we are getting a break even and ROI is returned. Now, in that case, I want some more understanding for the investors that what would be the charges for the these programs. Then they will also
Very good.
understand that how is it possible in those in their respective areas, whether these kind of investments are made by the parents for their kids' futures.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very good question, Shrikant, again, and thank you for that question. We have different slabs for different programs. While if I talk about Red Schoolhouse, since it's an extremely global brand and presents a niche, so obviously the fees is kept at a slightly higher price than the existing preschool chains of franchisees that we see in India. So we've kept the fees at about 150 to 200 US dollars per month for every child in the preschool segment for Red Schoolhouse. However, for the first couple of years, we've kept it at an inaugural price, which is 150 to $200 typically translates into 12,000 to 15,000 rupees. So we've inaugurated an inaugural offer. We've offered at about, let's say, 9, 10 odd thousand for the 4 different classes: playgroup, nursery, KG1 and KG2. If I talk about Business Kids is an 80-hour program. For tier 1 cities, we've kept it at 40,000. We are open to customization of this program fees as we move from tier 2 to tier 3 city. All right. So we are open to that kind of customization wherein we can probably tweak it a little. But I think 500 rupees, because if you calculate it, it's 40,000 for 80 hours, which typically translates into 500 rupees per class, which is not a really very big price for parents to pay today for their child's education. Similarly, we have Brick for Kids. So if you look at the Brick for Kids structure also, it is about $5 to $10 per class per child. So $5 to $10 typically again translates into 400 to 800 rupees, which is a very good affordable rate. However, again, I'm re-emphasizing that I'm open to customization, given that we find a very good partner in tier 2 or a tier 3 city. We are open to that kind of a customization around the fee structures.
That's great. That's great. I think that is more critical when you go to tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Okay. The affordability is there, but for the ROI part, if these kind of things are there where you are tweaking the prices, then that would help them for their return on investments.
Right,
Well,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, cutting down in favor of time. Let's quickly pick up some questions on the chat box. Our viewers are completely waiting.
Yes.
First question, Mr. is asking, out of these, any franchise operational in India?
So we have finalized, very good question. Thank you for that question. We have brought all the 3 brands to India in the last couple of months. And we have already finalized, set up Delhi master franchisee. So I'll give you for individual brands. For Red Schoolhouse, we've finalized for the Delhi NCR region. We are, as I said, we are finalizing for Vellore and Chennai. And we have active prospects in Bangalore and Hyderabad. For Business Kids, we've already finalized Vadodara. We've already finalized 1 unit in Ahmedabad, Delhi Masters, Bangalore Masters, Chennai Masters, and Hyderabad Masters. For Brick for Kids, we have running centers in Delhi, Mumbai, Gurgaon, and we have very recently finalized the Masters for Chennai. So we are very aggressively working into the market. And since these brands are brands of global repute, so I think the Indian investor population is also very hungry to kind of receive these global brands. When they get such an opportunity, the signups happen very fast.
Well, thank you. And Mr. Akshay is asking, what are your plans for Ahmedabad and Surat? Are we open for that?
Yes, we are open, considering. So he has mentioned for around 7:34. I was explaining Red Schoolhouse at that point of time. So I'm assuming, Akshayji, your question is around Red Schoolhouse. Yes, we are open for Ahmedabad and Surat. We are also open for Brick for Kids and Business Kids also. So please feel free to reach out to me. I will share my credentials before I conclude in the chat box. Please feel free to reach out to me, and we can have a detailed
So,
conversation
Mr.
around it.
Cautious, yes, we do have a lot of brands. So probably the day you joined us is for Master Rights, and we're talking about education and some F&B brands today. But do call us on our hotline numbers 97176 83838. 97176 83838 is our hotline number, and we will be more than happy to explore some more opportunities. Uh, does these franchise programs are outdated, and does they have any abbreviation? Of course, yes, as Jim said, mentioned it already in the presentation. These programs are absolutely and consistently updated. I pick up just two more. Please open all questions visible to all by default. Any mode. Not sure. Saras was good. Okay. Thank you.
I think there was a couple of questions, if I can just take up quickly.
Yes, you have
I'm so
2 minutes.
sorry for the bad internet connection. Somebody's written, I'm so sorry for the bad internet connection. Three wordings here: stream, STEM, and STEAM. Very right. Stream is typically, so STEM is the originator of the word. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then we graduated to STEAM. So we introduced A, which is arts also. And then from STEM to STEAM, now it became stream, where R is also introduced, which is reading. So these are just additional skill sets that we are imparting to the children. Primarily, it is basically a STEM based opportunity. I hope I was able to clear it, Rajesh ji. Yes, we are open for Nagpur, Mr. Nikhil. We are definitely open for Nagpur, depending on whatever brand you are suggesting. Red Schoolhouse, we will have to look at the site, because Red Schoolhouse is primarily for tier 1. But for business kids and brick for kids, definitely we are more than open.
Great, thank you. And sorry, but we have to really cut short it here. Favor of time.
Absolutely.
So, friends, thank you very much. If you have any more questions, we'll be more than happy to take it forward. But time to invite the next brand. Our special guests have really joined, not from India, but of course from South Africa, to give us the next business opportunity. And what we're going to talk about is next level popsicles, alcoholic and non-alcoholic popsicles, which is something new which is getting ready to enter the Indian market. And to present this opportunity, we have Natasha. We have Natasha and her business partner, Mr. John. Mr. John Mark would be present here and will be presenting the business opportunity now. Thank you. Over to you, please, and warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Saras, and thank you so much to the Fran Global team for having myself and John Mark. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Sorry about this. Just see. Just allowing. Oh, why is it not allowing me to share my screen? Sorry about this, everyone.
Problem. Take your time. So, friends, in the meantime, while she's doing it, please use the Q&A box, and we'll be picking up all the questions from there itself. And probably, the Indian market is really getting exposed to a lot of international brands. And the reason only is because of the rising economy that we see, and probably we are number one in the terms of population. And we talk about population. The Indian market absolutely tends and attempts a lot of people really to invest in the Indian markets. Natasha, do you need some help to share the screen?
I'm clicking share screen, and it is it's not allowing me to do it for some reason. I am in system preferences. I have allowed access. I'm not sure why it's not displaying. I'm so sorry about this.
Okay, that's okay.
I haven't had this issue before.
Your coordinators to do that.
I mean, yeah, if it was, I don't know why this is not sharing. I know that the team does have access to our presentation. If need be, I can quickly, if someone else can share it on my behalf. I'm not entirely sure why this is not.
No worries. So in favor of time, Natasha, I've already asked Meeta to share it with me, and probably I'll bring it on the screen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, why don't you start in the meantime? Give
Yes.
us the perspective and let's utilize the time.
Absolutely. So my apologies, everyone. You got to love technology. But just to introduce myself and my business partner, myself and John Mark, we are the co-founders of Frost Popsicles. We are South Africa's first and only premium all-natural range of alcoholic and non-alcoholic popsicles. We founded the brand in 2016 in South Africa. We started off with 2 wine-based popsicles, and since 2016 have grown the range to include a passion fruit and peach margarita, 2 different gin and tonic popsicles, a vodka-based popsicle with blood orange, as well as some non-alcoholic popsicles, a peach, strawberry, and banana, a vanilla coffee, as well as a pomegranate, grapefruit, and hibiscus. We have to date, since 2016, also exported from South Africa to Singapore. We've exported to the USA, as well as to Mauritius. And what excited us about the Indian market is the opportunity to work with an entrepreneurial-minded importer who has got experience either in cold chain or has connections in terms of the alcoholic trade. There is real potential for our product in the hospitality industry, as well as the eventing and catering market. As mentioned, our entire range is low calorie. It's under 100 calories per 100 ml frozen popsicle. Our popsicles are vegan friendly, with the exception of the vanilla coffee popsicle. All of our popsicles work with non-GMO ingredients. We're gluten-free. We don't believe in using anything artificial. We also don't add any sugar. And all of our materials, from our packaging, which is our popsicle tube, and our outer boxes, are all fully recyclable, which we feel is really important, especially in an event environment and when you're dealing with the hospitality industry, such as cafes, restaurants, and hotels. They do not want a product that makes their lives harder. They want something that's convenient and something that doesn't contribute to waste. As I mentioned to you, we've got our flavors, which are the gin and tonic classic, the gin and tonic berry infusion, passion fruit and peach margarita, blood orange screwdriver on the alcoholic side, and then on the non-alcoholic, the peach, strawberry, and banana, pomegranate, grapefruit, and hibiscus, as well as our vanilla coffee. What we see the real potential for our product to be is that we refer to it as an anytime frozen treat. You know, from rooftop bars to the poolside, to the beach, to private functions at home, to restaurants, cafes, and bars. What we've also done is we've created what's known as a perfect serve opportunity, specifically for the hospitality industry, where we have actually crafted convenient alternative desserts that can be made with our product, enjoyed with our product. We recognize that not every location wants to just serve a popsicle. You want to add something to it. And our product very much encourages creativity and inventiveness. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Saras. If we just click through to slide, you can quickly flick through the presentation. As I was saying, that just shows the range and what we believe in. We work with quality and integrity, and we want to partner with an import and distribution partner who shares the same ethos. If you click through to the next page, and thank you so much for your help. This just shows our alcoholic poptails, as we call them. It's a play on words, popsicles and cocktails. If you keep scrolling through, this just touches on the points I mentioned in terms of the product features. We can keep moving along there. This now shows you some beautiful imagery and some details of the products themselves. And just something to note on all of our alcoholic popsicles, we play at a 7% alc by volume. So we have actually stayed true to the flavor profile of the alcohols we work with. We do believe that if you're buying a gin and tonic popsicle, it should taste like gin. We want something that, as we say, once you pop, it's hard to stop, but not something that's too strong that you only want to have one. You can keep scrolling through, and we go into, as I said, our margarita and our screwdriver popsicles. And just something to note on our alcoholic range, we have chosen alcohols that we feel cater to a wide range of palates. You know, some people might not enjoy a tequila, or then we've got something with a vodka, we've got something with a gin. Our paletas, which is actually a Spanish word, you know, to describe our non-alcoholic range. You know, we're also mindful that not everyone drinks, but people still would like to have, an elevated flavor experience, which is why we decided to create this range. So if you just go through, I feel and John Mark feels we haven't created boring flavor profiles here. We've created something healthy, but also something interesting, playing with premium flavor profiles such as pomegranate and hibiscus, as well as vanilla bean. If we keep going through, that obviously highlights, as I said, the key features of this range. And again, just going into the key details, as you can see, low calorie, everything is all natural. We give full disclosure on our packaging. We have absolutely nothing to hide. We want anyone who is purchasing this product to know that they are enjoying a premium product, which, as we say, with no hidden nasties. And then the next few slides really just give you an example of how our product can be enjoyed. And while we scroll through these slides, just something to note is the key thing for anyone that we work with, and as the previous presenter Rimja mentioned, which I thought was such a pertinent point to make, is working closely with whomever our Indian partner is. We will give all the guidance, all the information, all the operational advice, all of our marketing assets to ensure that they can really make this a success. But the real critical is we want to work with a partner who does have an understanding or does have a connection to a cold chain network. Keeping our product frozen is key to success. So, when you import the product, we send it from South Africa in frozen reefer containers. So we retain the integrity of the product in transport. It would then need to go into a cold store and be transported in frozen vehicles. You can think of our product exactly like ice cream in the way that it needs to be treated. Ice cream isn't the same when it's frozen and refrozen. Our popsicles are exactly the same. I think, especially living in a warm country like India, similar to South Africa, people like cold drinks, people like frozen products, people understand how they need to be handled. So in a nutshell, that gives you an overview of our brand and what we offer. It's been fantastic partnering with Fran Global in terms of this opportunity, and obviously anyone that is interested, the Fran Global team will share their contact details. We are open and excited to working in a market like India. We see incredible opportunity and appetite for this product, and we're very grateful for the opportunity to be included.
Well, very nicely said, Natasha, and probably this is something we really wanted in the market, because enough of opening the bottles and mixing all the drinks and the cocktails, probably popsicles is something which was never flavored by the Indian palate. And not only the people who are alcoholic, but you're always keeping both the sides happy for the non-alcoholic people too. So again, let's talk about some financials. Typically, what are we open for? And so how do we work on that? Yeah.
So essentially what we would say is the only way to import this product is we do need a dedicated container. We need to send a dedicated container. So we work with both 20-foot and 40-foot freezer reefer containers. We do have a trusted cold chain logistics and shipping partner. But again, if we're engaging with with an importer who is already used to moving frozen products around the world or into India, we are of course open to engaging with any of their suppliers as well. If we're just looking at the conservative starting point, we would say go with a 20-foot container, which is the smallest one. It does need to be dedicated with only our product to protect the integrity of the product and maintain the temperature that the product needs. It's at the discretion of the importer how much product they'd like to import, but to make it financially efficient, we would say go with 400 boxes of popsicles split across whichever flavor profiles the importer prefers. There's 25 single flavor popsicles in a box, and our pricing model works on what we work in US dollars. Our pricing model for our alcoholic popsicles works on 90 US cents per alcoholic popsicle and 70 US cents per non-alcoholic. Now, of course, in the world that we live in, everything is negotiable. And I think it goes without saying that if we find the right partner, we are invested in their success, and we can always chat about how to structure things to make it efficient for them, because we do understand that that person is also dealing with importing costs, landed costs, transport costs, One thing that we can that I can mention from my experience, especially for anyone on the call who is involved in alcohol, is we have already got HS codes for our product. And when we exported to Singapore, our product was actually classified under the frozen dessert and ice cream category, which meant that the importer did not pay the same duties as they would if they were importing something alcoholic. So for any partner that's interested in this, obviously Fran Global has got our HS codes, and that's something that should be looked into, because it can make a huge difference.
Sounds great, Natasha. And do you want to talk some financials, like what kind of offer are you coming for the Indian markets? I'm sure you're coming with a master franchise. So what kind of investments are we looking at, and what support would you give? How the supply management would work, and the
Yes.
margin.
So, Saras, just speaking, and to everyone on the call, speaking completely transparently, we are a little bit different to other brands who you might have heard from, in the sense that we have not franchised our product before. This isn't like a restaurant or an education model in that sense where it's brick and mortar. What we are looking for is an import and a distribution partner. So we would agree, obviously, financials that work for them to bring in the volume of product that they would like. They would, of course, as I said, ideally be either involved in the cold chain the cold chain world, or involved with ice cream or alcohol, because that is really the marriage that you need. With the support that we would offer, so from a financial perspective, it is essentially whatever the importer wants to spend in terms of volume that they want to bring in. And that's where we are flexible. We don't say you've got to take a 40-foot container, you need to take hundreds of thousands of popsicles. We can scale up. And again, we don't dictate that you have to take the full range. If an importer sees there's only potential for the alcoholic range or the non-alc or specific flavors, we work with what the importer sees the demand to be, because no one knows the market better than the partner in the market. In terms of the support that we would offer on the marketing and training side of things, John Mark and I would obviously connect with whoever our chosen partner is as often as they require. We have got full marketing suites in terms of branding materials, in terms of examples of successful event collateral that we have used in both Mauritius, Singapore, the US, and South Africa. We offer full operational training so that our partner understands the cold chain, understands the best, most cost-effective way to manage that product. And all of that comes free of charge. We would supply all of the assets. And we also don't believe in a cookie cutter approach. Every business and every business requirement is different. Someone who is bringing in the product, for example, to go into a retail environment will be very different to, for example, a caterer or event operator, or someone who's running a hotel or a restaurant. So we have got solutions to assist with those individual environments. We don't say one size fits all.
Mm-hmm. Well, Natasha, sounds really inviting, because you're absolutely coming with an open mind and an open table discussion, and because you want to enter the Indian market. So friends, anybody who's listening to us, Natasha and her business partner, John Mark, is giving you the first mover advantage. Before somebody really gets into it, why not? It's me who can take this opportunity. And I hope people who are especially into the catering, the restaurant business, can really understand how this one product can get you entries to the biggest of the parties that's being organized in India. And we all know, all the F&B is a big market. Can be supplied to other restaurants if you take up the distributionship itself. So yes, friends, if you are open for any discussions, Natasha and John Mark are more than happy to talk over and take over the discussions over to the next level.
And Saras, if I could just add one more point, and we have seen since 2014, this category of frozen alcoholic products specifically has grown exponentially, even through the challenges that COVID presented. And whilst I understand it might seem like something very new and different, and sometimes people get afraid of that, this is extremely exciting. And we want to reassure everyone on this call and anyone who's interested that we would be hands-on, fully invested in their success. And we see India as really a market of huge opportunity, and we're excited to launch in the market.
Yeah. Some people in India might have a question on the licensing part because alcohol would attract some licensing and approvals. So I think in the next stage of discussion, we can always talk about that, and it has to be typically state-wise, the
Yes.
region-wise. So
Of
it has to be on a one-on-one discussion. And I see one of my friends, Mr. Nikhil, he's asking any plans to manufacture in India in
Yes,
going
actually,
future.
I'm glad that was raised because absolutely, not only are we open to discussions on importing and distributing, but most definitely we recognize India as one of the leading manufacturing locations in the world. And if there was an opportunity to not only distribute locally, but to manufacture locally with a partner who is keen to take this on, we would certainly be open to that. And in that respect, we can advise exactly what type of setup a factory needs to have, how it all works. We, of course, would be open to that. Most definitely. Thank you for that question.
Well, great, Natasha. Thank you for being here. I know you've been hanging around since the very beginning at
No
7 o'clock,
problem.
almost 1.5 hours. But that's what, friends, I really want to thank her from bottom of the heart, and especially John. And friends, especially you, क्योंकि आप लोग भी पिछले 1.5 घंटे से since past 1.5 hours, you have been sticking here. It really talks about the conviction that you're really serious to start the brand. So thank you, Natasha from India, and thank you, John, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you
So,
very much.
friends, thank you very much again. And friends, time to talk about the last brand for the day. And I have invited a business specialist who is from Frank Global. So, first of all, what Frank Global is, as we say, franchise India, but to enter any Indian market. So, Frank Global is one organization which gets international brands to India, looking at the complexity because any international brand coming to India would also bring in complements of cross-country nation borders and probably licensing terms and a lot of other things that we can really think on. But Mr. Mohit Sharma is a very senior business specialist, and he is again very customer or investor centric. He ensures that anybody who shakes hands with any international brand, he ensures that the investor would get all the services that he requires. So Mohit, warm welcome, and probably I'll bring the presentation for you, and you can start talking now. And kerrimo is the brand he's going to present. So let me get the presentation on. Over to you, Mohit. Mohit can't hear you. Mohit, Mohit, am I audible to you? I think today's internet is in a
Just
good
one.
seat. You're going in and out, my friend. Mohit.
Perfect. Is it good now?
Mohit.
Yeah, hi. Saras,
Yeah,
is it
better
good now?
now. Yes, better now. So probably I'm switching off my camera to save your bandwidth. You can please start.
Sure, thank you. Thanks a lot, Saras. Thanks for the quick introduction. Uh, as you've already given the introduction, I belong from the team Fan Global, where we bring some international opportunities to the Indian market. And I think the audience have been there for a very long time. Let's jump onto the opportunity we're going to be talking about. So today we are presenting this brand from Philippines. It's called Kerrimo. The brand comes with its own USP, which is patented as well. It's called the eating and drinking in a single cup. That's one concept that brand has been able to expand upon in the last 10 years. Currently in the home country, the brand operates close to 120 stores, and India has been the second country where they have chosen to be coming to. And from here itself, the brand is planning to expand its footprint in markets like the Middle East, Canada, and Europe, specifically in UK. Okay, talking about the key values about their business model, there are mainly three pillars on which the brand has been able to be successful so far. Why it has been expanded so widely. One is the ease of operations. So that has been one key factor in their story, in their journey, that they've kept their operations pretty simple. They have not put any complicated recipes or equipments or working model, which makes it applicable and affordable, to a lot of people, modern people, even if they are coming from a non-F&B background. It makes sense for them. So that has been one, game changer. The second one is the low, operational overheads. Coming from a QSR domain, it's very important for any F&B concept to have a control on its overheads, because that's where you can really make or break yourself. So because the format works on a smaller real estate, on easy raw materials, stuff like that, it allows any franchise operator, any franchise partner to operate on a reasonably controllable overheads, and that eventually adds up to their profit and loss at the end of every month or every year. And that's where the game really changes for them. And on top of both of them has been the double decker, which allows the customers to eat and drink in one single cup, one single packaging, and that really helps them to keep doing whatever they have come, let's say, to a mall or to a market for. So that has been three key points. Yes, there are some key values as well attached to the business, which has been there for almost a decade now. So there are partnership for generations. Kerrimo actually has a few franchisees where families and their kids also, people who started the franchisee and now their kids are actually running the business as well. So there have been partnership for generation. That tells really strong base and strong, value-oriented approach from their end. Then of course because it's a very affordable opportunity. It's an easy to operate kind of a business model. It's a very good self-employment opportunity as well for people, let's say, who want to shift from professional life to something more on an entrepreneurial side. And at the same time, even if young kids who just finished their college, professional studies, and they now want to start something for themselves. And then yes, the scalability factor, as we've already spoken about this brand, reasonable investment, low overheads, easy to kind of a possibility to start the business. All of these points, make it highly scalable in a market like India, where the real estate is a key factor. All of these points make it highly scalable, for any franchise partner to work on. We've already spoken about the easy to operate model, and then yes, if we are looking at a significant size of partnership, there is some financial risk sharing as well that is being offered by the brand, which is again shows their confidence and their approach towards it as well. Now, talking about the store models, which we have designed for a market like India for Kerrimo. So firstly, you see over here, it's a container model. These stores are made for outside locations, could be in a outer pavement of a market or of a mall. And this takes just 100 to 130 square feet. So not a very big space that we are talking about. The stores are being made out of shipping containers or strong metals, so they can be very rigid and very sturdy in extreme weathers as well. The second one, which you can see on your screen, is the kiosk model, which goes inside the mall. It's also called an island kiosk. This takes an average of 130 to 150 square feet of space. You can see there's very attractive kind of a branding can be done on these places as well. And these are very good for the places where people are just coming in or walking by and want to grab a snack, and they keep on walking. So yeah, that's the kind of model that works over here. The third and the biggest of the model is the full-fledged store model that takes a maximum of 200 or 250 square feet. We can add a bit of a sitting with this as well. You see that the two images that you're looking at the screen are one from Hyderabad, where we have the store right underneath the metro station. And the second one is actually in a corporate park in Gurgaon. So you can just see the options where you can put up these stores, and this model really works with these target markets. Now, talking about why India, why India makes sense for a model like this is primarily because India is full of channels. That's the market. That's the kind of opportunity which Indian market provides. We're talking about shopping malls, high level, the high street markets. These are the conventional places. But for a model like this, even business parks make sense. Educational institutions, that's where you grab the young crowd who really want to spend on quality stuff. Sports stadiums, exhibition places, entertainment areas, all of these have, and I mean nowadays it's the travel retail as well, which works brilliantly for a concept under the QSR domain. So yeah, that's why we feel that India is a great market for a concept like this. Who are we targeting to becoming our franchise partners? Of course, existing F&B operators. It's a great portfolio addition for them, because this is something that can really give an opportunity to add anywhere between 150 to 250 stores in, let's say, good 5 years. First time franchisees, if you're just starting or planning to start your business, this again add a very good option for you, because it's easy on investment, easy on real estate, easy on operations. And then we're talking about the self-employment enthusiasts as well, people who have just finished their study or their professional life and now they want to start their business. Okay, coming on to the number game. That's where so Kerrimo in India is basically offering 3 franchise options. One is a single unit franchisee, which takes roughly about 15 lakhs. As we say, this includes an investment for a single store, and the ROI you can see is roughly 11 to 13 months, not more than that, because we are not talking about a very huge investment size over here. The second one is a multi-unit franchise where the brand expects a commitment of minimum 3 stores in 12 months time. There's a 5-year agreement period. There's no sub-franchise allowed in this, but in case if you have successfully put across and operating 3 stores, we can really look into that, into converting our existing agreement into a master agreement with sub-franchising rights and exclusivity as well. The third one is the area master franchisee, where you get exclusive rights for a state or a region or a particular territory. And that requires few stores to be coming in from your end, and you can further sub-franchise the brand, the concept into your territory and make your revenues from there as well. Yeah, some franchise facts. Thanks, Saras. That's the comparison that we do between Kerrimo and some other F&B concepts going on in the Indian market. There is a huge difference of roughly 15% of margins which you can earn over here while you're comparing the conventional F&B opportunities with Kerrimo. This is primarily because of the low operational overheads. Next one, please, Saras. Thanks. Talking about the menu is designed keeping the Indian palate in mind. So that's not a cuisine is not a challenge here. And the option that you see over here, where people can mix the option of snacks and beverages, you can actually create more than 60 combinations of the double decker for yourself. In terms of marketing as well, the brand follows some really bright colors, some really quirky kind of so that to connect with that target market, the one we're talking about, has to be young, looking at trying new things. Yeah, so this is a sample menu template. We can always share a copy with the interested parties as well. Yeah, that's fine, Saras. We can move forward. So this is the team, who has really set up the concept. Edmund and Army are the 2 people who've been, running this brand and concepted this 12 years back. Today, they are looking at some new international market development as well. And myself have been working with them on the India market development. Perfect. Thanks a lot. I know it's been a quick introduction, but yeah, we're glad to,
Yeah, definitely, Mohit. I think, yes, whenever I'm talking about to any brand, I always ask them that what solution are you getting to a problem? And I think Mohit, without saying that, the way they have endorsed the packaging, one snack
Right.
and snack and drink in one hand. You can imagine, you want to have a snack and a drink in 2 hands. where to eat because I
That's
don't have
correct.
I don't have a third one. So rather getting a third hand for yourself, why not to get everything in one hand and probably a fabulous business model? Concept really works, especially India being the majority of the population is young people. And
Right.
I would put the word the channels that we are taking is not just one. So I think starting
Correct.
from street malls to cafes to college places to
Right.
corporate hubs. I don't know where it will not go. So, friends,
Right,
if you have any,
that's the idea. Exactly. You got it very right. The channels are enormous. At the same time, we're getting rid of any requirement of any cutlery, any those kind of stuff. People can just grab this the combination of their snack and drink in one packaging, and keep going. That's what most of the young crowd is doing.
Mohit, I will ask one question and probably close for any discussions, friends. If you want to have, Mohit would be more than
Sure.
happy to do discussions. You can directly call us on hotline numbers 97176 83838. I repeat, 97176 83838. One more time, 97176 83838. Feedback at franchiseindia.in is our email address. We are waiting for your calls. Anybody who picks up the call, just tell him that to connect me to Mohit from Fran Global Team. And within no time, you'll be directly speaking to Mohit himself, who positioned himself as a country head and will talk to you. So, Mohit, one question, of course, which is bringing up to our mind is how is the supply management happening? How is the menu being decided? How is the operational things being decided? And probably one more question I would ask is locations. What locations are we open for expansion?
So, Saras, you would already see that we are uh, currently operating in multiple cities in India, even in north and south. So, supply chain is completely set up in the backend. The brand directly works on that. Any requirement that comes from the store in terms of raw material is being taken care by the company HO in India itself, and the stocks and the raw materials are being delivered directly to the stores. They don't really have to go out, shop anything, nothing like that. So, all
Mhm. In expansion
really,
phase?
that's secondly, in terms of locations, I'm sorry, come
Yeah,
again?
are we open for tier two and tier three?
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw the question from one of the attendees. Tier two, tier three cities, that much sense because the product that we're talking about goes for the young crowd, and we do have a lot of upcoming young clientele from that market, and the price points we are working on are not something very premium. It's basically for masses, so very much open.
Would you want to give us an average? Like, what does the price point look like for maybe
Um,
some fries and some Pepsi or some drink?
Sure. I think for a tier two city, the average building price would stand between 150 to 200 rupees for one double decker.
Okay, makes sense. All right, thank you, Mohit, and thank you, friends. We already
Thanks a lot.
came and then decided, but thank you all for attending this. And friends, ये वो स्पेशल 9 दिन है जब हम अपने लिए कुछ नया सोचते हैं, कुछ नया बिजनेस करना चाहते हैं. So why not take a help of Franchise India, who has been pioneering and helping to soft investors like yourself to pick up the right business opportunity. Don't forget, we started with SOMF Fit, and I still say SOMF Fit for fitments, where we would like to evaluate you first and then, of course, suggest you the right business for you because franchising is what somebody finds as the easiest way, but that has not been easy because a lot of franchises also don't work. But we ensure you that we do a complete due diligence and help you make an informed decision. With that, do join us tomorrow for the grand finale. And till that time, wish you a very good night. ये 9 दिन अष्टमी है आज सबको माता रानी बरकत दे and of course a lot of blessings from the God. So thank you all. Have a great evening. Bye bye. Take care.